But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The chastisement for our peace was upon him, and by his wounds we are healed. This is one of those verses that almost makes you slow down when you read it. Not because it's confusing, because it's heavy. Isaiah wrote those words hundreds of years before Yeshua walked the earth, and yet when you read it now, it feels painfully specific. Pierced, crushed, wounded, all of it pointing forward to the Messiah and what he would willingly endure. And I think sometimes we hear verses like this so often that we stop really sitting with them. We know this story, we know the cross, we know the phrases, but every now and then it's good to slow the bike down a little and actually look at what's being said. He was pierced for our transgressions, not his own. That's the part that still gets me. Yeshua wasn't suffering because he lost control. He wasn't caught in some tragic accident of history. He wasn't paying for his own corruption, lies, violence, or sin. We were. And somehow, he stepped into that place willingly. You ever have one of those rides where the wind is just brutal the entire way? You're pushing forward, but it feels like something invisible is constantly pressing against you, draining your energy little by little. Sin kind of does that to people. Even when folks pretend otherwise, it wears us down. It damages things, relationships, thoughts, hearts, entire lives sometimes. And the world has all kinds of ways to cope with that weight. Ignore it, rename it, medicate it, distract yourself from it. Pretend evil doesn't exist. Pretend we're not capable of it. But deep down, people know something's broken. Scripture's honest about that. And Isaiah's honest about the cost of fixing it. He was crushed for our iniquities. That's not soft language. This wasn't symbolic pain. This wasn't abstract spirituality. The Messiah stepped directly into suffering, injustice, humiliation, torture, rejection, all of it, for us. And then you get this line, the chastisement of our peace was upon him. In other words, the peace we now have with God came at his expense. That's hard for modern people sometimes, because we're used to thinking everything valuable should come without cost. Fast food spirituality, instant comfort, no sacrifice required. But biblical peace, the kind that actually reconciles us back to the Father, was purchased through suffering, and not ours, his. And then maybe the most beautiful part, by his wounds we are healed. Now, people debate all kinds of things around that phrase, but at the very least, this is talking about the deepest healing human beings need, the healing of separation from God, the healing of sin, the healing of the rot inside us that no amount of money, success, politics, entertainment, or self-help can fully fix. And if we're honest, most of us have tried patching those holes ourselves at some point. Amen. It's kind of like trying to ride a bike with a bent wheel and convincing yourself it's fine because technically it still moves. Yeah, you can keep going for a while, but eventually the damage catches up with you. Isaiah says the healing we actually need came through the wounds of the Mashiach, the Messiah, not through pretending we're already whole. So for today, maybe just sit with that for a bit, not as a distant theology lesson, not as background noise you've heard 1,000 times. Personalize it. He was pierced for our transgressions. That means yours too. The failures you remember, the sins you regret, the things nobody else knows about, the weight you still carry around sometimes even after asking forgiveness. He carried all of that to the cross. And because of that, you don't have to spend your life trying to earn peace with God like it's some impossible uphill ride you never finish. The price was already paid. Your part is to trust Him now, walk with Him, and keep moving forward in the freedom He already purchased for you. And that really changes the way a person rides or walks through this world. Thanks for joining me here today, my friends and family, and anyone else that might be listening. I hope to see you here tomorrow. And until then, Abba willing, Shalom, Shalom.